And just to get clear about the protein issue, what we know is meat, fish, and chicken give you 16, 17, 18% of protein absorbable. Eggs give you 44%. But the spirulina and chlorella and blue-green algae are about 60 to 70% protein, depending how they're grown, and about 90 to 95% absorbed. So we really do have tremendously positive protein sources, powerful and healthy protein sources in the plant source only way of life and diet. I began to explore it also as a holistic physician, and I began to see that people varied according to their constitution. And as more recent research has come out, there really indeed is a genetic basis for why the variation is. And on chromosome 19, there's a gene sequence that says how much protein, how much fat, and how much carbohydrate we should have, according, again, to our genes. And in that, 70% of the people need a higher protein diet, and 30% need a lower protein diet. But before we start jumping to conclusions here, we're talking about a range between 35 to 70 grams of protein. In the meat-eating world, 70 grams of protein is still a low-protein diet. But in a vegan world, in a plant source world, there is a range, and 70 grams is a higher amount of protein. Now, we do know that when people eat more than that, particularly middle age, we double the rate of mortality and quadruple the rate of getting cancer. That's the research on men. I suspect that's also true for women. So now we have a paradigm, 35 to 70 grams of protein, which isn't really that much, according to your actual genetics. That's really important to understand. And even a little bit of a variation can make a huge difference, because above the age of 65, you actually need a little bit more protein. So I'm a person that doesn't really need much protein, and I'm pretty much been eating 8 to 10% protein in my diet. I'm pretty athletical. Remember, I was actually captain of an undefeated American football team, National Football Hall of Fame, so I had a certain, and still do, an interest in being physically fit. So I've been doing pull-ups, and I've been stuck at around 25 pull-ups. Now actually, when I was playing football and eating meat, I could only do about 7 pull-ups. So I had an insight as I read the literature that, because I was older than 65, that indeed I maybe should increase the protein a little bit. I took 1 tablespoon more of the blue-green algae, and within 2 weeks, I was up to 50 pull-ups and really have gone as high as 100 pull-ups, simply by increasing my protein by 1 tablespoon a day of blue-green algae. That's interesting. And just to get clear about the protein issue, what we know is meat, fish, and chicken give you 16, 17, 18% of protein absorbable. Eggs give you 44%. But the spirulina and chlorella and blue-green algae are about 60 to 70% protein, depending how they're grown, and about 90 to 95% absorbed. So we really do have tremendously positive protein sources, powerful and healthy protein sources in the plant source only way of life and diet. So just a point to understand, there's no problem for a vegan to get sufficient protein. Really no problem whatsoever.